Welcome to Just John and April, the relationship podcast where we pour into your relationship, life, love, and laughs. In today's episode, how come you? And the word of the day.
Hey, that's it.
How you doing, babe?
I'm good. How are you?
I know you're good because school is over.
Yes.
Every teacher has one day a year that they love. That is the end of school. That is the most important day of the year.
It is. I mean, you've been working hard. You're happy when you're there. You're excited about it. But when it's over, you're like,
I tell you what's funny. You talk to a teacher even partially about the possibility of taking any part of their summer away, they go nuts on you. Okay? I mean, absolutely
yes,
crazy.
we work hard during the school year. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I agree.
I think the quarantine showed parents what that feels like a little bit.
I hope so. Yeah.
Just a little bit,
Yeah. Now you got all these parents that are teachers too. But,
yes.
Yeah, you guys love your summer, so I'm glad you got it. But I wish things were different. I wish you could actually go out as we usually go, and we could go to the beach and different things like that. I think we can try to do some stuff.
I
but
don't know. I have to see how. It has to be definitely social distancing.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
this year was just crazy because, everything stopped and we were all of a sudden online, and so it was, this year really. More so, I was glad it was over.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the summertime for me that I'm worried about in this situation is, it's been really nice outside, and it wasn't that hard
So
staying
nice.
inside, being at home when it was cold. Now that it's
So
getting
true.
nice outside, man. And so here's the thing. I feel like we could successfully go somewhere like the beach or something like that and probably social distance if most people stayed home. But if everybody's coming out
home.
too,
Everyone's coming out.
that's what I'm saying. Then
There's no way. I mean, you would have to pick a time that it has to be during the week. Can't be the weekend.
Right, that's true.
You cannot go on the weekend
That's
because
true.
everybody's gonna be out there.
Yeah, going like a Tuesday.
Right. Yeah. Some random day.
And go
beginning
during the
of
time
week.
where people have to be at home working. Then maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of test it out and see.
Yeah. We'll
But,
try. We'll try and see what we can do.
But yeah, I need that after
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
I need just laying out on the beach, man.
I know you deserve it too,
Yes.
man. We did do some stuff over the last week. In fact, last Saturday we went out and we braved the coronavirus elements
The elements.
in
yes.
order to participate in our peaceful protest. We went down to 16th Street in D.C. and we marched. And it was really, really great. To be honest with you, it was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Same here.
Took everybody,
Yeah.
took April and the kids. So I preached, and then after church was over, we did like a food giveaway thing at church. And then as soon as that was done, we changed our clothes and wore our Against the Wall T-shirts. Some of you saw us wearing those last week or 2 weeks ago, I think. Just so you know, Against the Wall is a movement. We're against the wall of racial separation. That's why we wear that shirt.
I love that.
And so I do
love
too.
it.
Yeah. So we went out and we did that. It was great. The thing I liked the best, I'll ask you in a second what you liked the best about it. But for me, I liked seeing the unity of people. It was not just black people out there. There were a lot of white people. I saw Asians. I saw Hispanics. I saw people of all different kinds of shades and colors. I saw
Yes.
people that looked like they were differing in their socioeconomic stance.
Right.
It just seemed like people were rallying around this thing, being against racism, and I thought it was a great cause. I thought it was awesome, and in that moment, for me at least, it was stripped of all of its political nature. I didn't feel like the only people out there were people who were necessarily part of one particular political party. You know what I'm saying? It felt
True.
like these are people
did.
who just don't like the idea of racism and they want to be against it. And that was encouraging to me. This feels different than other ones have felt. So anyway, that was the best thing to me. What about you?
For me, I liked the connection with the people.
Mm.
It was like it was like we knew each other
Right,
in a
that's
way,
true. You're right. People were very
I guess
nice and
because we're
stuff.
all out there
Right.
and we know we're all speaking out for the same
Right,
reason.
right, yeah.
So I like the idea of, walking past people and
Right.
waving,
Right.
and everybody's kind of shaking their heads at each other.
Yeah.
Nobody was really, nobody was high-fiving or anything.
Right, of course. Yeah, it's Corona.
But that connection, I liked that.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. I loved my kids out there
Yeah.
witnessing it.
Being
Julie
a
was
part of it.
like,
Yeah.
Julie was just like, Mom, I love this.
Yeah.
I love being out here, knowing why I'm out here.
Right. I was definitely touched by the way that John and Julia were engaged. We were out there for about an hour and a half, and it was hot.
It was very hot.
And we walked, for a long time. I mean, we walked up 16th, we walked down. We tried to get back down toward the Black Lives Matter Plaza. We couldn't make it all the way because it was so thick. People were shoulder to shoulder.
It was like sardines. They were packed together.
We had on our masks, and we were social distancing for the most part, but then when it became impossible, we said, I don't think we can go any further. It was just too thick.
Not with the kids.
No,
too much
so we went back, but they didn't complain one time.
No, they didn't.
They
looked around.
And Julia, you remember, wore the wrong shoes.
She did.
And so it was like hurting her ankle, and she wasn't complaining.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was not complaining.
That said to me that they were fully engaged. They were asking questions. Yeah. They were making observations.
They were reading signs.
Yeah. It was great.
It was great. And then we were able to talk about it in the car on the way home.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
I mean, they'll never forget that.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think those kinds of demonstrations will stick with them. I think that will help them to become and continue to be against racism as they get older. Because I actually feel that if we don't do anything, if we stay in a neutral posture, I think we're going to tend toward racism.
Yeah.
I think it's something you have to fight against.
Yeah.
I think it's something you have to actually tell yourself, I'm going to be anti-racist today.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so I think these are the things that our kids will be able to draw on when they get older, and hopefully teach their kids the same thing.
But not just that, but knowing that it is our job to fight for justice.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, I want my kids to know that justice is what we fight for.
Yes.
No matter what, we speak up for that.
We fight against racism, we fight for justice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it gave them all of those lessons. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I do not regret it. I'm glad we went.
Me too.
And actually, the day that we went, last Saturday, was reported at the time to be the largest day of protest.
I had so many friends out there.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know we were all out there.
We were
together.
texting each other or seeing it later. Oh, wow, you guys were out there too?
Yeah.
We never ran into them. But the thing I like the best too, sorry, I already said what I like the best. This is just another thing I liked.
Yeah, okay.
I really liked the fact that it was completely peaceful. It was clear that the people who were out there, including us, were fighting against something.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like we were timid or not yelling or anything. You know what I'm saying? We were raising our voices and we were saying what we were saying, and we were against this horrible and heinous thing that's been going on in our country. So that was clear. So I don't want to paint the picture like it was, quiet and meek. It wasn't like that. But there was never any thought in our mind that any kind of violence was going to break out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even the police officers, and I have to say, I know police officers.
Right.
As friends.
You have friends who are police officers.
I have friends who are police officers. I know that.
As do I. There's many of them out there.
There's many of them out there that are good.
Yes.
And there are some out there that aren't.
Correct.
As well.
Yes.
And that's what we want to stop.
That's right.
Happening.
Yes.
It's the system that needs to be changed.
I think the system. I think the system allows for bad police officers to thrive without having any consequence.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that really needs to change.
Right.
The fact that there's a lot of good ones is a good thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the good ones, based on the way the system works, sometimes protect the bad ones. Yes.
There's a brotherhood there, and I get that.
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah, I do too. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But the point is, we still have to have accountability.
Exactly.
That's still a necessary
thing.
But
my point was the police officers that were out there were peaceful as well.
Yes.
It seemed like, they were even, had the right posture.
Yes, and that was very refreshing.
It was.
I love seeing that.
It was good. It was good.
So anyway, I don't regret it. I'm glad we went. Actually, I think it's going to be one of the things we look back on and say, man, I'm glad we were there.
Yes, we will.
To be a part of that.
Yes,
and
definitely.
We'll continue to fight for justice, and we'll continue to fight against racism in this family.
Definitely, no doubt.
All right. Okay, babe. So I have How Come You today. that.
I don't even know what he's going to be talking about.
So I have a How Come You.
Okay.
And of course, we want to hear the theme song, which is.
How come you?
All right, so I wonder if I should just show you the meme. So what happened was there was a meme that I came across recently that made me feel like I just connected so much with this meme. It just feels like it's about me and you. And I'm actually thinking that it's probably also about many other husbands with their wives or boyfriends with their girlfriends and stuff like that. So I'm going to just show you this meme right here. It says, when she asks you a question during the movie that you're both watching for the first time.
Oh my goodness, that's so mean.
So here's my question, and I really want to know this. There has to be an actual answer to this. How come you routinely ask me questions, like it feels like a real question too, about a movie that you and I are watching for the first time? Explain that one to me.
I mean, I'm just talking like about the.
Okay, no. Okay, so there are times when we're watching a movie and you'll be like, "Who's that?" Okay. Or why did she do that? Or so okay, that's different. That's different.
Okay.
That's not the same thing.
Okay.
It's different because in that particular situation, I feel like you're kind of just talking at the movie. I don't even necessarily feel like you're. I don't feel like you're really asking me a real question.
Okay.
But there are times you ask me real questions about the movie, like about the plot and stuff. I'm like, girl, we're 10 minutes in. I have no idea. And sometimes I'll say it to you. I'll be like, I don't know, babe. We're watching this together
not really asking
for the
you
first
question.
time. But it sounds like you are.
I know, but I just want to say it.
Why?
Because I need to talk. I like to talk during movies.
Can I ask a different question?
That's why I like sitting with your sister during movies, because we just be talking.
Okay,
so good.
Here's a better question then. Here's a better question. How come you can't just be quiet during the movie? Why can't we just enjoy it together?
Because, you know what I'm talking about, y'all. You want to be able to talk
First of all,
with somebody about it and be like, no, she didn't. Or,
I'm putting a
wow,
poll right here. Okay, there it is. I want you to click right now and answer the question. How many of you deal with this? I want to know how. Well, first of all, I wonder if this is a guy-girl thing, because it might not even be. Maybe some guys do this. I'm not sure.
There's some guy friends that I can watch a movie with.
But I need to hear from
the whole
you.
time. Yes, there are.
I'm not talking about just talking. I'm not just talking about talking.
Okay.
How many of you routinely ask your man questions during a movie? And guys, second question, how many of you hate it? I don't get it. I can't figure it out for the life of me.
I like talking through. It's fun. It's a part of the fun of watching it. You're like, oh my goodness, so why did he go over there? You want to be able to say that.
This is the reason why I hate it, though. Okay? Because I'm missing valuable dialogue.
It's not true. We have on the CC.
That's why I put it on. Listen, there were years we didn't put on the closed caption.
Right.
I got to have it on now. Now, it's even worse with our kids.
Yes.
We watch a movie with them, Julia and John. Oh my goodness.
I can't watch. It's very hard to watch a movie.
So it's impossible.
Matter of fact, we need to watch it first and then watch it with them.
Exactly.
Because the amount of conversation.
But I just be reading, y'all. Because I can't, I can't hear the movie.
You don't have to do that with me.
What?
What'd you just say? I absolutely have to do it with you.
Is it that bad?
It's bad.
Oh.
Anyway, well, you didn't really answer my question, but that's fine.
Well, I'm not really asking you. I know you can't answer those questions. You haven't seen the movie or the show or whatever. But I like to, have a dialogue while the movie's going on. To talk,
Let's talk after the movie's over.
Talk about the characters.
Let's talk about the characters afterwards. Will you?
Yeah, I'll forget that moment I need to say.
Or will you fall asleep during the movie? So
no, I have not done that in a long time. Tell the truth.
I'm actually surprised.
Because I've gotten a lot more sleep during this quarantine.
That is true.
So I've been able to stay awake during
point.
movies. Okay.
Well, anyway, that's fine with me. I guess I have sort of an understanding.
I'll try to do better.
Sure.
I will. I'll just ask myself. I'll just talk to myself. I'll whisper it to myself.
Well, now that I, ambush you.
No, she didn't do that. What? I wonder where she going. I'll do that.
You whisper that to yourself in your mind?
Right. No,
okay.
I'll say it. I need to say it out loud.
Don't do it out loud.
But I'll do it in such a whisper that it won't make it so that you can't hear.
I'm gonna be like, huh? What'd you say? Are you talking to yourself
No,
again?
you need to know exactly. You need to know that's what's gonna happen so that you can, watch.
Anyway,
That'll be the first step of trying to do better.
I wonder, do you have one for me now that I sabotaged you on the air?
Yes, you did sabotage me.
Good. No,
I
how
actually
come you?
do
All right, word
have.
of the day.
I actually do have a how come you.
Do you
And,
really?
yeah, because it's funny because what you just said actually made me think about something that you do all the time that is related to what you just said that I do.
And
Okay,
it is.
so whenever we play games,
Yes,
you already know what I'm gonna say.
probably.
I mean, we'll be playing Sorry, the four of us. The family, nice family game night. We play Sorry or we'll play Monopoly or Uno or something like that. You will stop in the middle. Matter of fact, you will start off
But
with
are you saying?
50
Are you saying something
million
I do?
questions.
Do I?
Yes. I'll be like, can we just play, please?
Questions about
You'd
what?
be like, okay, wait, everybody, wait. Now, why do we have to have 7 cards each? What's the reason why?
That's
I'll be
not.
like,
First of all, hold on.
I'll be like,
What happened to your other go-to voice for me? Why'd you change it just now?
because this is the, okay, we have to make sure that we get everything in place. All the rules have to apply.
I have a good answer for you.
And I'm like, first of all,
So
we
how come
play
how come
and we,
how come I what?
how come you have to talk all through the games and stop and ask questions and be like, okay, so if I put this here, then you do that and you stop and you know how to play the game. Just play it. Why do we have to analyze every move? So if you do that, this is gonna happen.
All right, I have an answer.
And you do that for other things. Like if Julie is telling a story, she loves telling us stories. Like she'll tell us a story that she wrote, or she'll tell us a story that happened to her personally. While before she can even get the first couple of sentences out, John is like, wait, so you were in your classroom? And I'm like, can't she just finish?
Okay,
if you
now-
let her finish, maybe you will realize
All right,
she
now-
was in the classroom.
No, that's
you know what I mean? Like,
that's actually something different. So those are two different things.
Okay.
My answer is actually different for. I can have different things. I'm doing.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
So when Julia's telling a story, I'm purposely being annoying
why do you do that?
because it's funny.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's hilarious. She
Me
laughs
too.
every time.
Yes, it's an annoyance.
She laughs
She's being
every time.
nice.
So what I'm doing
You
there
want her to
is-
feel like she's being listened to.
but I'm saying I'm actively listening, so I'm asking her questions to make sure I
John,
understand.
you
on
gotta
the
at
way.
least let her get the first part of the story out of you.
But anyway, that's like practical joke stuff. That's
Okay.
totally
Is
different.
it really?
Yes, that's literally
You do that on purpose?
on purpose.
Oh, you have
you
to
don't,
stop.
You don't hear the questions I'm asking? I just did it tonight. They're not even
No,
real
that
questions.
seemed like a joke, but
I do it all the time like
no,
that.
you have got to stop that then.
Okay. Well,
You
anyway,
do that to me.
I think that's funny.
No. Do you do that to me on purpose, like joking? You can't.
Sometimes, but not all the time. When I do it to you, you can tell I'm joking.
Babe, you cannot do that anymore.
Okay, fine.
That's
Now,
really annoying.
All right, so here's the reason why I do it with games. Every time we play a game, just like literally every time, at some point during the game, we end up having some kind of breakdown because somebody interpreted the rules differently. It's usually John. Just hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
It's usually John. Something will happen, and we'll have some long, drawn-out argument about whether or not what just happened was supposed to be able to happen. So I like to do at the very beginning. I say, let's decide on all the rules right now that we're
It's
going
in
to
the
agree
book.
on.
It's right there.
My point is though, sometimes we deviate from those rules and we do other things, and then and this is true. We'll be playing a game, and then all of a sudden John will do something, and then somebody will say, "Oh, you can't do that," and then we're like, "Well, yes, we can. We've been doing it like that all this time," and then blah blah blah.
You just go to the book right then. Why spend the first 15 minutes before we even play?
It's not
talking
even,
about-
it's
you
not
can't
15.
Even, John, I don't even want to play no more. By the time we're done with all that, it's like, forget it.
We actually haven't played any games this whole quarantine, have we?
We haven't, because we've been doing all kind of other stuff.
I thought it was because you were avoiding it because you hate my guts now.
Yeah, that might be why. I don't want to play games with you. Actually, me and the kids play games without you, actually.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Which is probably,
I would rather
which is
play
probably more fun.
without you. You got to do better so we can
I'm
play
actually fine with that.
together.
Maybe I figured out a way to not be included in the games.
You don't want to play games? No,
My-
because you are constantly
get-
thinking. You're so logical. You can't just
My-
play.
No, it's not that.
Yes, just play the game. Oh, no. Example.
Okay, give me an
We were
example.
playing video games with the kids.
When was this?
This was when the quarantine first started. We all came
Okay.
together and played Mario Brothers.
Okay.
We couldn't even play Mario Brothers because you were like, wait a minute. Why can't we go over there? And I was just
Really?
like, wait, let me get my voice on. Wait a minute. Why can't we go over there and do that? I was like, can we just run and jump? And then you would get mad. Like,
here's what I remember.
You were like, why are you kicking me off the thing? And
Right.
I was laughing. It's fun.
That's
Let's
not
just
fun.
have fun.
That's not fun.
It is. You need to learn how to stay on the beam.
No. What's fun is actually completing the level.
See,
It's not fun when all four of us are jumping on each other's heads, making everyone die.
We were all cracking up. We were having so much fun. And you over there like, I can't stay in the game. Why can't I? And I'm like, just play. See, the word is play.
No, I ain't playing with y'all.
Play.
I ain't playing with y'all
And
no
I'll just
more.
be laughing, falling off, dying, coming back,
Well, that just,
So we both need to be quiet. Is that what you're saying? Is that the whole? Is that what we?
That sounds like the gist of it.
We need to just be quiet.
Maybe we could have more fun if we'd shut up.
I like that. So I will try to be quiet.
But babe, let's be honest. It's been almost 20 years of the same thing. Is it really going to change?
Well, now that we've told each other, I've never really expressed to you. I've never said, how come you always have to be talking?
That's true.
When we're trying to play games.
Now, here's my question. Have I ever said to you, how come you always have to be talking during the movie?
Yes.
Okay. I rest my
I'm
case.
just like, it's hard for me. I love it.
Well, I think this should lead us to our word of the day.
Oh, which is?
Word of the day.
I don't think I know what it is.
The word of the day is perceptive.
Okay.
Perceptive. Now, it's the definition of perceptive that helps us with this conversation.
Okay, what definition
Here's the definition.
do you have? Okay.
Having or showing sensitive insight. Now, here's why I like this word.
Okay.
Because I feel like what hopefully just happened just now is that we have more insight into why each other does what each other does. Mm-hmm. And maybe that will make us more sensitive toward the other one. I have no idea. Okay. But I'm hoping that you will actually start being quiet during... No. Your perceptiveness will lead you to be more quiet during the movie.
I'll try.
And maybe it will help me to be more quiet during games.
Yes, so I will tonight. Let's go watch a show.
Okay.
So that I can practice.
All right.
And we'll play a game tomorrow with the kids so that you can practice. How about that?
Okay.
Want to try that?
I will try my best.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
We'll see how that goes. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.